Hi, my name's Sue and I'm a clinical scientist here at the University of Southampton Auditory Implant Service, and I'm going to talk through some of your equipment today. This is the Advanced Bionics Neptune speech processor. It's a fully waterproof option for patients. I'm going to run through how to troubleshoot and take the processor and pieces apart and put them back together. First of all, this is the battery compartment, this is the processor, this is the lead, and this is the coil that transmits the information across the skin to the patient's implant. The lead can be pulled out of the processor like so, and the other end from the coil like so. You can see that there's two different shapes. So the bent one goes in towards the processor and the straight one goes in to the coil, and you literally push it in and click. This can be the weak part of the processor, the lead, because it's general wear and tear, and it can be pulled at either end while the patient's wearing it. So it's a good idea to keep an eye on these and change them regularly if you notice any breakage. Leads do come in different lengths. So I've got a longer one here, so the patient can wear the processor at different places. The coil has a magnet in it. The audiologist will choose which strength magnet you need, and it's really important to get it right. If you make it too tight, you can cause damage and discomfort. And if you make it too weak, obviously it's going to fall off a lot. So the audiologist will spend time making sure the magnet is the right strength. There's different colour caps that come on the coil. If I take the lead out, I'll show you how to change the colour cap. You need a tool that can be found in your kit, and it's got a narrowed end that goes down to a point. If you angle this between the black and the white area, you can lever the top off. To put it back on, you just simply place it over the top and click it on. The little black area here is the microphone, so if you ever see any dirt or dust in there, it would be a good idea to shake it off or remove the cover and make sure it's clear of any dust or dirt. The cover on the processor itself can also be changed, and when you order your processor initially, you'll be asked which colour you'd like. In order to take the covers off, it's quite tricky initially, and then eventually they start to loosen up through general wear and tear. But to take the battery compartment off, you need to hold the processor with your thumb and fingers like so, and lever off like that, in the V action. And it takes a AAA battery. You'll get some rechargeable batteries and a charger again when you get issued your processor, and you can get new batteries from the service. The battery will come out if you've got nails, like so. Obviously make sure you're getting it round the right way, and then lever it back on. You have to make sure that you've got a tight fit around there, otherwise it won't be waterproof. And also there's a rim here that mustn't be damaged. So if you're trying to get this off, you mustn't lever it off with a tool of any kind, because you could damage the plastic rim seal here that makes it waterproof. In order to turn the processor on and off, you press and hold the button at one end of the processor. If I press and hold it now, you saw a flashing orange light which denotes how well the battery is charged. Then you get a green light, and the number of green flashes denotes which program you're on. The red light indicates there's a problem, and at the moment there's a problem because we're not connected to the patient's implant. So once you connect the coil onto the patient's implant, the red flashing light should disappear. To turn it off, hold the button down again, and the orange light disappears and the processor's turned off. If you hold that button for too long, the processor resets. So it's about 2 seconds to hold it down. If you hold it for 4 or 5 seconds, the processor resets. In order to change the program on the Neptune, you need an additional switch, which is called a connect. Again, this will be issued when you receive your processor. In order to put it on, you need to take this side cover off. Again, using your nails, you can click it off. There's little gaps here in order to lever it off with. You've then got a little dot at one end, a little circular dip at one end, and then on the connect you'll notice a little raised bump at one end. If you match those two up, you can then click the connect on. This is a volume control and this is a sensitivity control. Quite often they're disabled by the audiologist, so you can't, even though you move them, you shouldn't be able to change the volume and sensitivity. In order to change the programs, you use this little switch here. It's currently on program 1. Program 1 is furthest away from the coil. You move the program button once, and that's onto program 2. Again, slide it over once, and that's to program 3. The triangle at the end is for listening checks. So if you want to carry out a listening check with headphones, you need to put it on the end, which is the triangle. You do have to make sure that you're getting the little switch in the right place. So now if I put it to program 3, if you want to check that it's changed to program 3, if you then now switch it on and count the number of green flashes, and that was 3 flashes. So we're on to program 3. On program 3, I've actually put the audible alarm on to demonstrate to you. So for some children, it's useful to have an audio alarm. Just turn it off. The audio alarm works in the same way as the flashing red light. So it'll tell you if it's fallen off the head, lost connection, or there's a problem with the processor in some way. If you notice a flashing red light on the connect between the volume and sensitivity control, it means that the connect isn't synchronized with the processor. In order to resync it, you need to put the volume control, the left hand one as we're looking at it, or the one where the coil lead is plugged in, nearest to that one. If you turn it to 8 o'clock, and the light goes green, you now know it's synced, ready to go. In order to then take the connect off, there's a little button here at one end. Again, holding it, pressing the button down with your thumb. There we go. Didn't have the strength in my thumb. And then you can put the cover back on. In order to clip the processor onto the patient, there are various options. You can get harnesses to wear on the child. This is the most commonly used way. It's a clip that can be attached onto the processor. And then you can clip it to clothing. Sometimes children will wear a vest under their top and then clip it onto that. Or if you're using the long lead, you can then clip that to the top of trousers. For different wearing options, it'd be a good idea to discuss that with your key worker or audiologist if you're having difficulties. Although the Neptune processor is completely waterproof, in order to use it in water, you need to change the coil and cable. There is a specific coil which you can see is much thicker than the usual coil, with a specific cover, and the lead, it's a good idea to have a different colour lead that you're going to use as the aqua accessory, and then it attaches in the usual way, and then you're ready to go swimming. I hope that was helpful. If you need any further assistance, please do let us know. We're always happy to help here at the Auditory Implant Service at the University of Southampton.